way.
Oh my God, what? Sorry, we are live. Connie just dropped a bombshell. Welcome to the CEO Author Uncut with me, Porsche Mystique, and I am with your favorite Grandmapreneur, Connie Inukai. Grandmama Connie, how are you doing?
Thank you for having me on your show. I'm your biggest fan, Porsche.
That is insane. I'm your biggest fan. How can you be my biggest fan?
Well, I guess like minds attract.
That part. That is so true. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. And I'm so excited to be on this show. And I hope a lot of people are listening.
Yes, me too. We already got some views. So good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, to everybody who is watching right now. Man, we're going to get into it. What is this show all about? The CEO Author Uncut is raw stories and unfiltered tips that unapologetically go against the status quo. And if we talk about people, just like normal people who really do that, who are disruptors, who go against the status quo, it is this woman right here. I got to point the other way. This woman, I'm going to call her Grandmama Connie because, she's more than that. We're going to call her Grandma Connie, because she is a grandmapreneur, meaning she is living fabulously in her golden years. She runs her business. She's an inventor. Oh my God. She's a TEDx speaker. Hey, we need to put that in your thing. And she's also an author. Now, that's my introduction of you. But Mama Connie, you want to go ahead and properly introduce yourself?
Okay, so I'm a grandmapreneur. I started becoming an entrepreneur at age 70. Okay, most people don't do that, but I figured why not? And so I'm having the time of my life. Most people choose retirement as a time to relax, but I don't know how much Netflix I could watch. So I wake up every day excited about running 3 businesses.
3? Damn, right. I didn't know that. What are the 3?
Well, the first one is I'm an inventor. And the second one is I have a product called Write Your Selfie, where I help people write their life story in pictures. And I'm a retired writing professor, so I use my expertise to help people. Everybody, when they get older, wants to make sure that they're remembered after they're gone, but they just don't know how to do it. So I can help. So that's my second business. And my third business is I'm becoming a speaker. So, I'm having the time of my life.
I love that. Congratulations for everything that you were able to accomplish. You said 70. That is amazing to me. And if everybody who's watching here, if you follow Connie on social media, you will know that she's a spitfire. I mean, the way she shows up, the way she does what she does, she is truly incredible. So, okay, before we get into it, we have to start with saying hey to everybody who's watching. Lynette from Temecula, California, welcome. She says, wow, that's amazing. Yeah. Grandmama Connie is dope. Okay, but we got to get into the craziest thing. So, Miss Connie, what is the craziest thing that has happened to you within the last 30 days?
Well, that's an interesting question, because just last week I went to a huge networking luncheon near me, and it was in person. So, we don't go to so many of those, but I went to it and I got all ready that morning, picked my clothes and looked really good. And when I got there, I realized I was wearing 2 different shoes, mismatched shoes, because I was trying on different shoes and I forgot to fix it at the end. So I got there and I was so embarrassed. I tried to hide my feet under the table, but when I was walking around, everyone was looking at me, and I realized I just owned it. I owned my mistake because everybody wanted to talk to me and ask me about my shoes. And I found it was a great thing to add to networking, And so I owned it, and I might just choose to wear 2 different shoes every place I go.
Yes. Man, I need sound effects, because if we could do like the loud round of applause, I would do that right now. That is awesome. It's funny, as you were taking us through the story, I was definitely like, oh no, I was embarrassed for you. But then you were like, you owned it, and I could just picture you like walking through the luncheon. Everybody's looking, and it's like, okay, she's making a statement. I love that.
Well, I think it makes me human, because as a woman, we do that every once in a while. Have you ever done that?
Yep. Every once in a while, you get those little embarrassing moments, and you're like, why? People are looking at you. Like for me, it wasn't as bad, right? But I remember I had this cute, oh my God, let me tell you, Miss Connie, it was fire. I had this bomb-looking dress on, right? It was this gorgeous yellow gown. I looked incredible. It really showed off my figure. I was so happy. I was feeling so sexy. And I didn't know I had washed that gown previously, the day before, and there was this huge ink stain, for whatever reason, on the side of my outfit. Now, I wasn't going anywhere special. I really was just like going out with my husband. We were going out for dinner, but I felt so embarrassed. I kept walking around like this, with my arm down my side to try to hide this huge ink stain, however it got there. But I wish I'd have owned it like you did, like it was part of the dress. Like, bam, that's the style. Look at it, but I did not do that. I love that you did. That is incredible. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Alan says, hey, it says hi from Alan, but I think Alan is in the UK, so I don't know. He says hi from Alan. And then Michelle says, Connie is a courageous rock star. Tell me about it. That story was incredible. All right, what are we going to be talking about?
Thank you to Michelle.
Yeah, okay, Michelle. Let's give Michelle
I know
a
her.
shout. Who is she?
She's an inventor also. And so we follow each other all the time, and she's so inspirational to me. So thank you, Michelle, for being on here.
Shout out to Michelle Morrison. You are awesome. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about becoming an entrepreneur during your golden years. So at the very beginning, when Miss Connie introduced herself, she talked about the fact that she started her entrepreneurial journey at the age of 70. Miss Connie, tell me why you chose this particular topic.
Because I think I want to make a difference. A lot of people who are older, people have the impression that we're useless. We're over the hill and there's nothing left we can do. And I'm trying to debunk that theory and show them that at any age, by the way, I'm 75 now. I started when I was 70 and now I'm 75.
Right.
And so, and I own it because I'm really proud of the fact that I'm able to inspire other people my age that entrepreneurship in your golden years is a wonderful thing to do. Because imagine waking up every morning excited about your day and learning new things, because there's a lot I have to learn. So anyways, so that's why I did it. And I actually did my TEDx talk about that, inspiring people to pursue entrepreneurship in their retirement. And there are 6 main reasons why. One of them is it keeps you active. Look at me. It keeps you mentally alert because you have to learn so many things. It keeps you social. Like I get to meet people, not many people my age get to meet somebody like Porsche Mystique Steele. And so it allows you to pursue your passion. It keeps you, it allows you to give back. And so many things. But the main thing is when you start a business during your golden years, you can stay young.
Absolutely. Man, it's really amazing to me that you were so courageous to just do that. Explain to us a little bit about what that was like. Like you were 70 years old. What was happening in your life at the time that made you feel like, okay, yeah, time for entrepreneurship. Let's do it.
Okay, so I was a writing teacher at the University of Maryland for 40 years. Okay.
40.
And I used to inspire all of my students who were engineers and computer scientists. I inspired them to find a job and own it, get it. Okay. So my first assignment for them was to find a job. I taught technical writing. Okay. To find a job that they're not qualified for, but they would love it in maybe 10, 20 years. So they all found these great jobs. And then every assignment I gave them was related to getting that job. For example, one of the first assignments I said, since they were engineers, to write an instruction manual for something that company does. Okay. Then write a promotional pamphlet for that company. And as they were doing it, I got inspired for my own invention. And I had the idea of an invention. And so I watched what they were writing. So I wrote an instruction manual for my invention. I wrote a pamphlet for my invention. And as they were writing, I was doing the same thing. With their guide, they didn't know they were giving me guidance. But what happened was I really realized after helping thousands of students that they were going to be getting these wonderful jobs that were going to be more than twice my salary. So I retired. And then I decided to pursue my own passion. That's when I got started.
Holy crap. So you unknowingly, you had created this whole future for yourself while attempting to create this whole future for your students.
Exactly.
That should be a Netflix movie. Like, I would watch that movie. That is insane. Wow. Okay. So explain this invention. What was the invention?
Okay. So most people invent things for children or millennials or something. I invent things for adults, like seniors. So one of the big problems that I had was I would go out to dinner with my friends and we could often not read the menu or the bill because the print was too small and the restaurant was too dark. So this was my invention. And it's got a magnifier on so that you can read the small print. It's got a light on the back that's not obtrusive so you can see in a dark restaurant, because I used to have to look for candles. And then it can also figure out a tip and split the bill in 3 seconds. So I call it tip and split.
Tip and split. That is awesome. Yeah. Holy crap. Let me put that on my Christmas wish list. Like, I need to get that on there. Where can people go to buy that? I mean, I know this is outside of what we're supposed to be talking about, but that is so interesting. Where can we buy that?
On my website, which is tipandsplit.com.
Wow. Tip, like the letter N?
Tip, A-N-D. Okay, SPLIT, www.tipandsplit.com. Thank you.
That is awesome.
And then, since you're a writer, and I'm a writer, my first book I wrote, I tried to get some visibility for my product. And I hired a publicist, and she got me nothing, but I paid a lot of money. So after I did that, I wrote a book, and it's called How I Got My Product on QVC, The Today Show, The View, and more in my retirement. And I gave tips to other inventors or entrepreneurs on how to get free publicity. So that was my first book.
Wow. Are you serious? That is so cool. So this tip and split product has been on QVC, The Today Show, The View, and that is
NBC, a lot of them. Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We have some messages here. All right. Lynette says, I started my life over late. There it is. At 49, after my separation of 25 years of marriage. Now I'm 51. Connie, you gave me so much more confidence that I will be able to succeed. No, that I will be successful. Read what's there, Portia.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love that.
So I kind of I kind of put Tip and Split on hold during COVID because all the restaurants were closed, and I didn't want to encourage older people to go into restaurants when they opened. So I started a new project. Okay. But I just recently started promoting Tip and Split again because out of the blue, I was invited to speak at the U.S. Patent Office about inventing. That was about 1 month ago. They asked me to speak. I didn't even know how they found me, but they asked me, and they had 3 speakers, and the other 2 were on Shark Tank, but I wasn't. But after that, everyone came up to me and said I was so inspiring. And this one young guy came up to me and said, I know you're trying to inspire older people, but I'm inspired. So I liked it.
That is so awesome, though. Okay, so all right, going back to being an entrepreneur, specifically in your golden years, for you, what was the biggest challenge that you had, either getting started or once you were there?
My challenge is always technology. Okay, because you can imagine, like you grew up, you're young, and you grew up with computers. They didn't have computers until I was way past when I was teaching. And I learned about computers from my students because I grew up with a typewriter. Do you remember those things? So all this technology is hard, and I'm trying to do social media, and all of it is difficult for me, but I'm working at it.
But you're doing an awesome job. I mean, just from what I see, and I'm following you, I think I'm following you on like every platform, right? I'm following you on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. You're doing an amazing job for somebody who says they don't know how to do it. It's awesome.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things about being an entrepreneur when you're older, you should not be afraid to learn. So even if I'm not as good as the digital marketers nowadays, I'm working at it.
Right. And, I'm going to ask you questions about marketing your book. But before we do that, let's talk about the latest book that you published. You want to grab it? You got it?
This is the book I wrote when I gave my TEDx talk. Right after I gave it, I wrote this book, and it's called Retirement. Dream big, take action, make money. This is where I encourage people like Lynette. If they want to start a business, I pointed out and I interviewed 10 people who started a business after a full-time career.
Wow. And how did that go? What was the process like of writing that book?
Well, because I was a writing teacher, it was really, really easy for me. And I made it especially easy because I interviewed people. So their interviews take up the first third of the book.
Absolutely.
So I really enjoyed writing that book. And I learned something from you, by the way, Porsche. I read your book about the CEO author, and what I really took out from it is I have to have an audio book. So that's my next thing that I'm going to do.
Dude, that is awesome. Thank you so much for reading it. I'm glad that you got something out of it. Now, I know we're talking a little bit about the struggles that you have with technology. What does it look like to leverage your book in your business, right? Because as CEO authors, that is how we succeed. Not necessarily book sales, but how we leverage and monetize our books. So how have you been able to do that?
Well, I just started speaking, and I spoke at a Rotary Club a few weeks ago, and I showed them my book. So I'm hoping that people will buy it, but I have the book. So that's how I'm going to leverage it, and maybe by podcasts like you, people will see my book. So I actually went to my local library, and I'm going to be doing showing my book there. And that's what I'm doing, sort of old-fashioned ways.
Got it. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to have a conversation after this about getting you this whole marketing strategy in place, because I really believe that your book can go even further. So we will talk about that. Alan says, I wrote my first 3 books when I turned 71, but I had to learn to touch type and software for the blind first. Wow. Connie, do you want to respond to that?
Touch type and software. So are you blind, Alan?
Yeah, yes, he is.
Whoa, that is amazing. So you're like me. We're learning things. We're learning so many things. And you have an extra challenge there. But look at you. You're doing it. So I applaud you.
I love it. Good job, Alan. Okay, so you know what time it is. It is time to debunk that myth. All right, Miss Connie, thinking of being an entrepreneur in your golden years, think of a myth that people often say or they try to say is true, and then just debunk it for us. Get rid of that thing.
Well, that's also interesting because I was just looking at my comments on my TEDx talk, and I had 100 comments, and almost all of them were saying, "Thank you. Thank you for inspiring me. Thank you for proving that you can do whatever you want to, even when you're older." But I did have 2 people who said, why do you think an older person can start a business in their golden years? And I said, well, maybe not everybody, but look at me. I'm doing it. So I thought I was really glad to get 2 people who commented they don't think it's realistic for somebody to start a business in their over 55, over 60, or over 70. And they said it, and I said to them, thank you for that comment. And thank you for watching my TEDx talk. But look at me, I'm debunking that myth.
Absolutely. So it's all in the action, man. It's all in the action.
Exactly.
Love that. So what would you say to somebody who is in their golden years and they're scared to get started?
So I put everything into my book. And I told them one of the best things you can do is start writing a business plan. Okay. And you can get that off of the SBA, Small Business Association. They have tutorials for how to do it. Write a financial forecast. Okay. I had no idea how to do that, but I looked at the SBA and they showed me how to do it. So, and then you need a mission statement. What do you really want to do? And I can say that when you're an older person doing a business, it's not really for the money, because my kids are out of college already. It's really just for the satisfaction and helping other people. So I was on the SBA and I joined SCORE, which is free advice. You get a free mentor if you want to start a business. So my mentor is wonderful. His name is Ed Coleman, and he lives in my area. And whenever I need help, I go to him. So he had me write he had me write 3 business plans. This is 2 months ago. One for Tip and Split, one for Write Your Selfie, which is my other business, and one for speaking. And it made me think.
Oh, wow. 3 business plans for the 3 things that you wanted to do.
Yes. So he made me have goals, and a forecast and objectives. And, anyone who's going to start, go to SBA, and then there you can find a SCORE mentor for free.
SCORE, like SCORE?
Yeah, these are all retired people who were in business, and they will help you.
Wow.
For free.
For free. That is insane. And that's such a huge tip, man. For those who are listening, definitely write that down, because that is something I never knew. I didn't know that that was available. I really appreciate you for sharing that. Thank you. Okay, book recommendation time. Miss Connie, what is it that you're reading right now, and what should we be reading?
Well, if you want to be a speaker, The Referable Speaker is a very good book. And I have a few other books that I'm writing on how to be a speaker that people like to listen to. So I'm reading 3 books. I can't remember the names of them now, but those are helpful. By the way, when I was in September, I believe it was National Inventors Month, and I hadn't done anything with Tip and Split. So I looked at my book about how to get, visibility. So I contacted Good Morning Washington, and I said, National Inventors Week is coming up. Would you like to have an interview? And he said, are you an inventor? And I said, yes. So I got on that show.
Wow. Just like that.
Just like that.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
It's so crazy how we always think that in order to do these big things, you have to pay so much money. It's really hard to do. They're gatekeeping. It's a struggle. I did not realize it was as simple as asking a question.
I found the host, and he seemed like a really nice guy. So I contacted him on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So this was a DM. You DM the host of Good Morning Washington and said, hey, holy crap. That's
and
kind
so
of
after I did the interview, I watched it. And he said, now this is an amazing interview because Connie is an inventor, but she contacted me through Instagram and asked me if she could be on the show. So I like that he called attention to my efforts to do it. So I think that the reason I did it was because I was thinking about my books, and I thought about this book, and I thought, I haven't done anything for Tip and Split recently. And right after that, I think it was about 2 months later is when I was invited to speak at the United States Patent Office.
Wow.
So, so I'm having the time of my life.
I see. So you followed your own advice.
Right.
And that's where it got you. I love the fact that you're one of those people who take massive action. We hear those phrases all the time. It's such a buzzword. It's always trending. But I think forget the fact that it's trending. There really is a lot to be said about individuals who take massive action. Instead of just saying, oh, this is the thing that I want, I'm going to manifest it, I'm going to sit down and just wait for it to fall in my lap. You have people like Miss Connie who go out there and actually they are in action to create the things that they want. That is huge. And I'm definitely going to have to do that. I did ask some people, because I know I want to move forward in my speaking career. So I did tell a couple of people, hey, if anything comes up, and it's something that I could do, is in my wheelhouse, just think of me, reach out to me, drop my name in these big rooms. I did ask that, but that is small scale compared to what you did. I think I need to look.
When I went to that luncheon last week with the shoes, I met the state delegate from Maryland. I'm from Maryland. And we took a picture together, and I sent her the picture. And then I said, if you know of any speaking engagements, could you please consider me? And another person I met was the president of the local Chamber of Commerce. And I took a picture with her. And I said, if you know of any speaking engagements, can you contact me? And she said, well, in February, we're going to have, we're going to honor senior citizens at our chamber event. And we would like, and maybe you can be the speaker. So that was with the 2 different shoes.
But you made yourself memorable. And that's why we need books, right? Because one thing that I always talk about when writing books is that you become memorable because you have something that you can leave behind. In your case, you had 2 different shoes, so you made that instant impact. But I mean, I know that those people are going to remember you for maybe the rest of their lives. That is so incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I just want to say thank you so much to Miss Connie and everybody who is watching. We had Lynette, we had Michelle, we had Alan, and anybody else who popped in. Thank you guys so much. Miss Connie, can you please let everybody know what you got going on right now and how they can reach out to you?
What I've got going on right now, well, I'm not even supposed to say this, but I have a new invention coming up. But I can't tell you yet. And
Okay,
once you're an inventor, you're always an inventor. And I don't have the time for it, but it's going to be a biggie.
Jeez Louise. Okay, so Miss Connie got a new invention on deck, but shh, keep your mouth shut. Don't tell nobody. And how can we reach out to you?
Well, you can reach out to me at Connie Inukai author.com. That's about my book. And also I'm on grandmapreneur.com. So I have two different websites.
You got that domain, Grandmapreneur.
Yes.
You
and I also have the trademark, Grandmapreneur.
That's what you got to do. You know, I learned last month that I need to do that for the CEO author. I didn't realize how great the CEO author was in SEO. Like, it's great SEO. So I was like, okay, buy the domain, trademark it. And so we did. So I love that you did that for Grandmapreneur.
If you need help with trademarks, I know how to do them.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I did it myself.
You did. See, I wish you would have told me that. I mean, I have Legal Shield, right? So my lawyers through Legal Shield is doing my trademark. But had I known, I would have asked you.
I do it for free. By the way, I have one more book coming out. It's not me, but I'm a contributor. My patent attorney is just about to publish a book called Turn Your Ideas into Inventions. And his name is Richard Blank. Mm-hmm. And he has me down as a contributor because we've become very good friends.
Wow. So, Miss Connie, when you say that you are living your best life, we see it fully. It is so transparent. It shows up in your energy, in your smile. You're glowing. You got a new invention. You got a new book. And you got speaking engagements on the horizon. You are doing the damn thing. And I really appreciate you for being here. Camille Jones, my lovely twin, says awesome. So thank you so much, Miss Connie, and thank you all for watching. If you haven't gotten your copy of the CEO Author, just go to PorscheSteele.com/the CEO Author, get your copy, and learn how to expand your thought leadership with a book. Miss Connie got hers, and she took some great tips out of it. I love it.
I love your book.
Really?
Yes. And I'm a writing teacher, and you're spot on for anyone who wants to write a book. You're spot on for that.
Man, I love that. Thank you. Lynette says she needs help with trademarking by journal. I don't know what that means.
I think she means her journal.
Okay, her journal. She needs, but it says I would help. Maybe she needs help.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, Lynette, Connie is tagged in this video, so you could just click her name and send her a DM.
Thank you so much, Portia, and for all the people who are here listening. I had such a great time, and I'm so glad I got to speak with you.
Oh, me too. Thank you, Miss Connie. Thank you, everybody. See you next week on the CEO Author Uncut.